Hi, I'm Pantazi. Today I wanted to talk to you again about Uechi Sanseiru Kata. And this is from Pangai or Uechi style, depending on what you want to name it. Now remember, Kyusho is not a style. So I'm just going to give you a couple ideas that I play with a lot. And I do work with this kata every day. I work with the three main katas of Uechi, which are Sanseiru, and I also do the Super Empai, which is, I believe, a fourth main form of the style because of its similarities and its body feel and its attributes. And I know there's a lot of controversy on that, but that's not for me to say. Anyway, in the kata, there's a movement where the hand is held up, okay, with a shokin type of a fist. Now, as the other hand comes in, it pulls back, it crosses over, and then it extends. And it does this 3 times. Now, when I'm working with this kata, I play with a couple different ideas on this, okay, like grabbing the person by the hair and applying the shokin into the carotid sinus, the mental nerve, many different Kyusho targets. However, in this one that I want to display for you as well, we're going to work with targets on the arm. And this is from Ohan Soken's notes. Now, the main targets were called Naishoho and Gaishoho. Okay, and these targets are applicable in this part of the form if you want to apply it at any given time. As an example, okay, when you're holding your hand up and the hand comes across, what's to stop you from hammering onto your own wrist and then shokening your own wrist, showing yourself and practicing the target of Naishoho? Okay. Now, if you do this in application, and I want to caution you right now, if you do this well and on target and hit with this small knuckle, you're going to feel an electrical jolt through your hand. It will spring the hand open, it will numb it out after a shock of pain if you do it correctly. So learning that as you're targeting, okay, in the kata, okay, and learning how to strike it. Now that one just sent a shock up my wrist, okay, right into my hand because I hit the nerve correctly. Now you don't have to hit hard and you don't have to try to abuse yourself, but getting that target is just a very powerful attack. So if you would grab someone by the arm and just jammed your knuckle right into that Naishoho point, you're going to weaken the opponent considerably. And if you remember my segment on Ohan Soken's notes of the Naishoho, then you'll understand that this is also a fainting target. It causes intense pain, shock of pain in the arm. It paralyzes the hand and the arm, and it also can make the person pass out, okay, or faint. Now, on the opposite side is a point called Gaishoho, okay, again, according to Ohan Soken's notes. So as you've gone through 2 of these, you go into a 3rd one, and now we're going to use that shokin as a grabbing type of an action to signify the application on that Naishoho or Gaishoho point. Now that is also a fainting target, and I showed you in the Gaishoho film in the extended versions how to knock a person out using that, okay, with very dramatic effect, and it was by pulling on that correctly. So you're hitting nerves, you're hitting blood vessels when you're applying this. So that was 1 application, 2 to show you that you could be striking it, or on the 3rd one, as instead of crossing over the front, you use that as a grabbing technique where your index finger or the shokin, okay, is grabbing into that Gaishoho target. Now, after those 3 applications are done, the hands come around. Now, to strengthen the other hand for the grabbing tendency, because you were already holding it in a nice tight fist for the striking application or the crane application. When you're going into the tiger application of this, when your hands come around and go into this next targeting, okay, you can actually use it as a grabbing technique. Now that grabbing technique can strengthen that finger. So you've done 3 of these, and you've done the 3rd one as a grab, and then the next movement, you've grabbed your arm coming up, and then you're applying the striking technique that you have in your mind or whatever targets you're on. So there's just an idea. Now this posture comes right out of the Bubishi. So you see Ohan Soken's notes, these old katas, the Bubishi, they all come into play if you're trying to learn the Kyusho, or the vital targets that are applied in these ancient katas. Now remember, they were stripped out in modern times. First of all, to sportify and codify everything, and then gotten forgotten over time because it wasn't passed on. It was just stored away for the higher up levels or family members, whoever they decided to show it to. Now you're seeing many different senseis, from Goju-ru to Uechi-ru, to many different styles, starting to show the Kyusho. But it's only after 30 years of us, 30, 40 years of us, trying to show the world that this is applicable, it's what the katas were based on, that it's now coming to light, and these old senseis are releasing that information little bits at a time, okay? So you got Hokama sensei, you've got Nakahoro sensei. Many of these senseis were starting to show little rudimentary Kyusho targeting. So again, that's just another way to take the Sanseiru kata and apply some Kyusho to it, with knowing some really nice targeting, some really nice techniques, getting a result on yourself, and ingraining the targets in your psyche. And that's what the katas were to do. They build those new neural pathways, so you're in a situation, you're not looking, you're not thinking, you're just striking, but automatically now your neural pathways are doing these techniques to people. Okay, whether you're grabbing them and striking them, or you're using it as a locking technique, this is what the katas ingrain. And that's why they're so valuable, and that's why so many styles do study them. Chinese, Okinawan, Japanese, you name it, they study katas. Even judo, they have katas. They're throws, but they're called katas because they're practiced. They're over and over again. The repetition is there to solidify it, cut the neural pathways for you so they become automatic in a combative and really minimized thinking process, so it becomes just animal instinct. So that's what we want to do. That's Sanseiru kata and Kyusho.